In for the fourth quarter of 2018, with the government declaring it equates to positive growth for the Bermuda economy. Well, Try Trot was at today's news conference on the quarterly bulletin of statistics for 2018.
According to the statistics for the fourth quarter for 2018, employment income increased 3.2%, or by more than $25 million. Spending by air visitors jumped by 5%, with visitors estimated to have spent more than $83 million year over year. And according to new Minister for the Cabinet Office, Wayne Ferbert, results for spending by cruise visitors were even more promising.
Estimated total expenditure by our air visitors was $83.7 million, which was 5% higher. Total estimated expenditure for cruise passengers more than tripled from $7 million to $23.9 million. Hotel gross receipts increased 0.5%, or $0.3 million. Overseas declarations by residents decreased 2.2% to $18.4 million.
Minister Ferbert using the opportunity to declare the island was making great economic progress.
These results are a tangible demonstration that this government's social economic policies are bearing fruit. And this is good news for Bermuda and its people.
Then there was the 800-pound elephant in the room.
Minister, do you say all this to say that Bermuda is not in a recession, as many camps or some camps are insistent that we are in once again?
Well, they refer to one indicator only: retail sales. And when you go into recession, there are more indicators you take a look at. And so we accept that retail sales has been done, particularly when you come out of a year when the America's Cup was there. When you go 2018, 2016, the numbers are not too far off. But what I can say is that the numbers that we have here today are very good news, and no, we are not in any recession.
Elsewhere, the report shows imports from America increasing by nearly $40 million. The value of imported goods from the UK rose $1.7 million, while imports from all other countries was just over $500,000 higher. Meanwhile, at the end of October 2018, there were just over 2,600 workers employed within the hotel industry. The level of employment jumped by 94 employees, representing 48 more Bermudians and an additional 46 non-Bermudians. Try Trot reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Health Minister Kim Wilson tonight dismissing claims by a local insurer who says a new cap on insurance premiums is forcing them to increase their rates. This comes soon after the minister announced that this year there will be no increase to the mandated standard health premium or HIP or future care premiums. Here's more in this report. At a press conference today, Minister Kim Wilson responded to a letter penned by one private health insurance provider.
BF&M is increasing their insurance rates significantly. The letter wrongly blames the government for the increase. The letter is wholly misleading and contains serious inaccuracies that the public must be made aware of.
She stressed that the standard premium rates are not a form of tax, but are a base charge of all insurance policy holders that helps cover the cost of hospitalizations and other expensive treatments. A claim by BF&M that the Mutual Reinsurance Fund will increase by 225% as a result of this, she says, is wholly untrue.
The premium increases made by this company are a business decision based on profit margins and shareholders' interests. The extra premium they are charging is not to pay for hospital care, because the government is protecting that by not increasing the standard health premium rate. But the extra premiums that they are charging is to help to fund profits.
The SHP figure will remain at $355.31 at last year's rate.
It is unconscionable that BF&M, who recently reported heavy profits, would attempt to blame their premium increases on the efficiencies that the government is making with respect to healthcare payments of our healthcare dollars.
It's BF&M's position that the government's plan to reallocate funds and place a cap on Bermuda Hospital Board funds, it fails to address the real drivers of healthcare costs in Bermuda, which ranks third highest per capita globally. Despite this plan, they say premiums will continue to increase due to the aging population and the growing number of adults with chronic illnesses. A spokesperson adds, "We are in the process of presenting to government viable alternatives." The island's healthcare system regulator, the Bermuda Health Council, encourages more discussions on the topic of wellness and illness prevention.
And those who need help are not given access to proper and sufficient continuum of care, which is the whole spectrum of the care that they need, they don't magically get well. They end up in the hospital and everyone pays that bill. So the point is to try to prevent acute symptoms of the disease as early as possible to keep people well and improve our economy through a more robust workforce.
Minister Wilson reminds policyholders to be wary of price increases by their insurance providers. Social media and talk radio has been buzzing with reaction since he said it. And today, Bermuda Broadcasting News sought out the opinion of ordinary people on Reed Street. Tri-Trot and cameraman James Barboza asked passers-by, was Sir John Swan correct in saying that Bermuda should be importing rich white business people to solve our economic woes? Well, nearly all of those responding to the question did not endorse his view.
That we should be looking to import rich white business people because they have the solutions.
I don't think we should single out anybody as rich or white or black or any other culture. Anyone should be able to come to Bermuda and be here, work here.
With regards to that, Tarai, Nicholas Swan was in my class at school. I was brought up in that, if you want to call it, oligarchy system. I thought it was wrong because with regards to Bermuda, and as a Bermudian, I was brought up. We've got Premier Barrett with regards to the immigration reform. I'm a strong advocate for that because I was brought up through that with regards to my parents coming out here from Newcastle, England. They had about 50 quid in the pocket, but we're seeing this more disproportionate with regards to the haves and the have-nots happening. And Bart's got it right. We need to address this situation appropriately.
I agree that it has to be smart, probably wealthy people that's creative, that could bring some flavor and some modernism or something to the country. It doesn't necessarily have to be white. We have some other cultures that are also wealthy or creative, but that's really, I think, what we need.
Sir John Swan, the former premier, has said that to turn things around, we need to be looking to bring in rich white business people because they have the solutions to turn the economy around. Do you agree?
I agree with the rich part, but I don't know if I agree with the white part. I don't understand why we have to put a color on all that matters is the color green, which is the money. Bermuda needs the money, period.
I don't approve of that. I don't approve of that kind of language. I don't approve of that kind of almost, like it's a very limited comment. It's almost derogatory. Because it's looking at, like it's saying, like only white people can accomplish this or do that, when we know that that's not the case.
It's unfortunate that he had to say that. He is a good businessman, and I understand business. And with regards, I get emotional because it just hurts me to feel that he said that because he's better than that.
Stay with us. We'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
Every home tells a story. Your story is all yours.
Big kid, too cool. I make my own rules.
Wherever you live, whatever your style, express yourself.
My style says what's up. Don't wanna ever grow up.
So many styles to help tell your story and create your unique dream home.
We're gonna stand out, break away from the crowd.
Start shopping for furniture at U.S. prices today. Lifestyle Furniture is Bermuda's newest furniture store and is proud to be the home of the #1 furniture company in the world, Ashley Furniture. Visit lifestylefurniture.bm or stop by our showrooms today. Lifestyle Furniture, this is home.
Price Rate is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce, and an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world, and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
There are many great reasons to consider buying a Kia or Toyota electric car from Bermuda Motors. Here are the top 5. You will be pleasantly surprised how much money you save over filling up a traditional gas car at the pumps. Plus, electric cars are quick and easy to charge. You'll be impressed by the smooth, quiet acceleration and comfortable ride of an electric car. In Bermuda, there's no such thing as range anxiety. With an electric car, you can typically drive more than 100 miles over several days without having to recharge. Electric cars need very little maintenance. They don't require an oil change, spark plugs, or tune-up, and there's no transmission or exhaust system to repair. Electric cars are awesome for the environment. They dramatically reduce harmful emissions and don't pollute our island's clean, fresh air. Choose an all-electric Kia Soul or the hybrid Kia Niro or Toyota Prius C from Bermuda Motors.
And back to our show, Belco refutes claims that it has been experiencing increased load shedding episodes, and there could well be a threat to supply of electricity in the summer. Gary Moreno has more.
Mr. Pimentel argues Belco operates with a service reliability index of 99.95% and that it is important to note that automatic load shed events can occur from time to time and are designed to temporarily remove load from the network to prevent system instability and damage to generators. He explained this year there have been 5 load shedding occurrences on the system, and this is completely within the realm of normal operations for that system. Generators, he points out, are mechanical systems that sometimes trip off for various reasons. The electricity system needs to stay balanced between supply and demand. Further, when a generator suddenly comes offline, there is normally enough spare capacity to meet the load requirement and to also ensure system stability. He continued, if additional generation capacity is not readily available, and this could be for a matter of seconds or minutes, a proactive procedure known as load shedding can occur. He told us that basically a number of customers are disconnected from the network in order for there to be a balance between the electricity supply and demand. If this does not happen, generators and equipment can be damaged and system stability can be compromised, potentially causing extensive outages up to and including an island-wide blackout. Mr. Pimentel maintains Belco's reliability standards are North American class. He added, although our system is old, our people maintain the equipment to ensure these high standards. Now, that notwithstanding, you may remember that only last year the company complained that its equipment was outdated and on the verge of failing and requested a rate increase to pay for a major refit. Sean Durfee, former CEO at Belco, did, however, also state at that time it was thanks to the Herculean effort by maintenance staff that aging and outdated equipment hadn't altogether failed. Elsewhere, as we previously reported, it is understood all bids for the purchase of the Ascendant Group were to be submitted this week, and shortlisted bidders have reportedly been carrying out site visits. However, bidders are said to be concerned about the integrated resource plan, which is described as unclear. We understand concern has also been expressed about new rates still to be approved by the regulatory authority. When contacted about these claims, the company declined comment. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thank you, Gary. And the Belco president says customers can also be assured that no issues are expected with supplying a reliable service during peak demand over the summer months. Belco looks forward to continuing to serve the people of Bermuda with safe and reliable electricity as we have done for more than a century, end quote. And weather now, we're in for more clear skies and plenty of sunshine well into the weekend. Let's head over to AccuWeather for the details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and hopefully you're having a great Thursday. We're almost to the weekend. And we're under the influence of some pretty nice weather right now, and that is all thanks to high pressure here, keeping things nice and dry over the island. As you look west, though, we do have some problems in our nation's, in the U.S. midsection, and also as you head down into the southeast here, as there is a disturbance, but that disturbance is pretty much going to hug the coast, and it's not going to cause any problems for us here locally. So as we look at things a little bit closer to home, you can see that nothing's popping up on the radar this evening, an indication of some fair weather, and overnight tonight, things are going to stay nice and comfortable. We've got temperatures in the low 70s right now, humidity between 70 and 75%. The winds are coming in out of the south between 4 and 8 knots, and the water temperature is nice and mild. 76 degrees right now, waves inside the reef up to a foot. Really doesn't get much calmer than that, and waves outside of the reef are running between 1 and 3 feet. So we have no issues out on the water, no marine alerts that we have to tell you about for today. Maybe things will start to change as we get closer to the weekend, as the seas will start to build again. But right now, no problems. You can see your high tide right here, 8:04 tonight, and your low tide coming in just before 2:30 a.m. on Friday. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, tonight is going to be nice and comfortable. We have clear to partly cloudy skies with a low of 67 degrees. And tomorrow, another gorgeous day. Hopefully you enjoy your Friday. A high of 75, nice and sunny, and a low of 68 degrees. So again, we are under the influence of high pressure. You can see our futurecast as we head throughout the day on Friday. No issues here. That moisture that we're watching down into the southeast, again, going to be primarily hugging the coast. Once we get into the weekend, the later half of the weekend, that's when we do have the opportunity for some showers. But up until then, the weather is going to remain nice and quiet. Looking at conditions in a few other spots, we have our Caribbean outlook here. Jamaica, it's a hot one, 90 degrees right now with mostly sunny skies, 88 in Barbados. Trinidad, upper 80s, some showers in the area. We have no tropical development, but we are watching that zone right around the Bahamas and into the southeast. Pretty unsettled for some of these destinations on Friday. New York City, a high of 58 degrees with showers and storms. Also looking stormy in Atlanta, wet in London. Miami, Florida, South Florida, also cloudy with some showers around. So here's a peek at that extended forecast. You'll notice temperatures the next few days, mid to upper 70s, and no significant rain is in the forecast. We saw futurecasts. Maybe late in the day Sunday, we could squeak out a couple of showers, and it looks like more showers will be in store as we head into Monday.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
And thanks, Brittany, for bringing us up to speed weather-wise. Well, students on the island want Bermuda to know that they are aware of the violence and they want it to stop. They'll be raising their voices and marching their feet against violence this Friday in the West End. Maya Palacio has more.
Anti-violence advocate and founder of Visions magazine, Desmond Crockwell, will be collaborating with schools on the island to raise awareness on anti-violence. He says it's an opportunity to let every voice be heard, especially the children.
In this instance, we'll be using young people and their voices because we believe that they are important. Our young people need to speak, and this is their way of speaking. And we believe people can relate to young people because every adult has been a child. So I think that somewhere in our hearts, we respect that these young people's voices will be heard.
Participating schools will be Somerset Primary, West End, and Sands Middle School, which will also include students from T.N. Tatum.
We have asked the principals if the students will wear their gym clothes so we can see a sea of color, and also they will be able to represent their schools.
Other anti-violence organizations will be in attendance.
We collaborated with Antonio Belvedere from Break the Silence campaign, and he will be bringing his crosses that he utilizes as memorabilia for those that have lost their loved ones, and he uses that as a symbol, so as a tangible symbol, and to connect with those that are grieving, and for those that have serious impacts of what's going on.
Crockwell says having organizations from the Somerset area like the Somerset organization Open the Heart Foundation is vital in this task.
So we want to thank them, because that's their neighborhood. And so they have allowed us to come down, and we've had conversations with them. And so that is important, that we collaborate with people that's actually from that area.
As a mission to hear all voices, Crockwell says the next Visions magazine will have stories from former gang members and men who have been incarcerated for gun crimes.
we want to make it clear that we love guys, people in the streets. You know what I mean? We don't hate them. You know, we love them. We want to give them a voice. And we also want to make those aware that have the resources, what these young men are looking for and what they're asking for. So that's our job, is to try to be that link and to try to be that catalyst and that voice and give people a platform to speak. Get involved means, you know, some sort of sacrifice. And that's where it starts. We all have to make a sacrifice if we can help somebody else.
The march will start at 12 o'clock this Friday in Somerset Parish. I'm Maya Palacio reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Maya. Still to come, Earl Basden will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
Standard Health Benefit isn't about guaranteeing the establishment of business. It's about ensuring that everyone has equal access to services that are agreed upon as being essential. What do we consider essential? Well, ultimately, it's up to you. Standard Health Benefit and the premium that you pay isn't the Bermuda Health Council's money. This isn't money entitled to any insurance company or any specific provider. This is money that belongs to the people. That's a pool of $360 million that is set aside for every member of the 63,799 residents of Bermuda to have access to the kind of things that are necessary. We have found over time that maybe Standard Health Benefit could be used better. We understand that much of the focus has been on care when you get sick instead of prevention. We found that there are services that you need that will help to keep you healthy, but you're finding a hard time to afford them. You've told us in telephone calls and surveys and letters and even emotional pleas on the side of the road that you want better support. You want to be able to afford your prescription medication. You want to visit your eye doctor or your dentist and not have hundreds of dollars in copays. You want to have a change of course in diabetes and hypertension and get local treatment for your cancer. You want to have support for your daughter when she goes into labor and for that newborn in case they need to be flown overseas. This is what you've been asking for, and for it to be paid within that $360 million. We hear you, and now are putting your thoughts into action. We now have an opportunity to close gaps, build bridges, and heal wounds. This is our opportunity to come together around a common purpose of better health and around creating a better health system for not only this generation, but for generations to come. This is indeed about your health, and this is indeed about your money.
Now let's join Earl Basden with tonight's sports report.
Bermuda's under-17 men's national team got off to a rocky start at the IMG Academy in Florida during the opening day of the CONCACAF Under-17 Championships. Bermuda went down 3-1 to Trinidad and Tobago. At the half, Trinidad would hold a 2-0 lead over Bermuda. Trinidad took the lead in the 24th minute when Justin Arujo Wilson found the back of the net. Arujo Wilson doubled the Trinidad lead in the 38th minute. Bermuda substitute Missouri Daly pulled a goal back in the 75th minute. Bermuda would have a chance to pull level 5 minutes later, but Najaya Tucker watched his spot kick come back off the upright. In the 90th minute, Trinidad would find the back of the net again when substitute Andrew D. Gaines scored from a distance to make the final score 3-1. Daquan Crockwell has spent a number of years playing in football academies in the UK. He tells us what the environment is like when one first joins a new club.
Well, from the start, you always have competition. So I went in, just leaving Mansfield. At the age of 15, we won the league and the cup that we made to another final. But a lot of that group got released because a whole new management came in. So I went into Port Vale not really knowing who they were, not really, knowing much about the club. And you go into an environment, it's pretty hostile, not going to lie to you, because there's a lot of these boys who have been together since, I think some have been there 10 years. And it's like, wow, you're coming in, they're all kitted up, you're in Like, I was in a goalkeeper top, shorts, and just looked out of place. But, you know, as soon as you get into it, after a few training sessions, they start to get to know you. It's not hostile at all. It's everybody's just trying to reach the same end goal. And it's all good, I'm not going to lie, but it's all about the competition. Because everybody's trying to get there, but everybody's friends at the same time. So on the pitch, I'm trying to give it my all, everybody's trying to give it the all, but at the same time you have to encourage everybody.
Fourth Pan American Road Cycling Championships in Mexico. On day one, Conyers competed in the time trial, where she clocked a time of 32:35 that saw the female competitors cover a 22-kilometer distance on a circuit of 11 kilometers that saw Conyers finish 10th overall. Bermuda's bocce players Steve Wilson and Omar Hayward continued competing in the BizFed 2019 Montreal Bocce World Open. Wilson would take on Marco Dispaltro from Canada in their individual BC4 division match. Wilson would go down 10-0. In his individual BC1 division match, Hayward took on Mikhail Gutnik from Russia. Hayward would go down 13-0. Trey Mallory continued competing in the Montego Bay Junior Jamaica Cup tennis tournament. Mallory, who is seeded 5th, went down in the second round match against Matthew Robinson from USA in straight sets 6-3, 6-1. Mallory would then team up with Russell Armstrong from the British Virgin Islands in the doubles. The pair defeated their opponents in straight sets 6-2, 6-4. Cheyenne Smith competed in a heptathlon in a French track and field meet. Smith would take on 55 other competitors and would win with a total score of 4,982 points. Smith clocked a 100-meter time of 14:67 before leaping a height of 1.56 meters during the high jump. Smith recorded a top toss in the shot put of 11.69 meters, and then she would clock a 200-meter time of 25:51. Smith had a long jump top leap of 5.13 meters, which was followed by a toss of 35.07 in the javelin. She then closed out the event with an 800-meter time of 2:24.97. The result qualifies Smith for the French Championships, which will take place in June. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Save $1 on fresh ground hamburger, only $2.99 a pound. And imported broccoli crowns, just $2.99 per pound. Blue Diamond Almond Breeze Milk, $5.99 for select varieties of 64-ounce cartons. Save $2.16 on Schmidt Old Time Honey Wheat or Spit Top Sliced Bread, $3.99 for a 20-ounce loaf. Arm & Hammer Laundry Detergent, $5.99 for select varieties of 50-ounce bottles. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
I feel like I'm in really good shape. I trained with Coach Steve for a while, and he got me in the best running shape I've ever been in. I never say times for May 24th. This is a race to finish, but hopefully under 2. It just means really having a part of Bermuda. You know, seeing everyone out from Bermuda, people are yelling your name. You just feel really connected to everybody. It's such a community event. This is my favorite event by far in Bermuda. I love having all the spectators out. It's a really fun time. And when you get down to Front Street and you're at the very end, it's like a big party and you feel like you've won the whole race.
I'd like to see as many people come out, as this is Bermuda's longest race, started in 1909, so it would be good to have a lot of people from the community to come out and celebrate and what it is to be Bermudian, to be a part of it, and just come out and enjoy the day, and people trying to live active, healthy lifestyles. I like that. It sort of goes with the theme of Cup Match, where we just don't keep everything focused on one end of the yard and it shifts back and forth, and I think that goes well with how we do our holidays, obviously the Cup Match holiday. I usually just come out and watch the race with friends and just travel around and just stop off at different camps and whatnot.
Sir John Swan's comments on investment, specifically white investment, kicked up quite the storm this week. Many have disagreed with those comments, but one thing is for sure, investment is needed to grow the Bermuda economy. On the breakdown tonight, Tony Waterman explores where the investment opportunities lie with Sir John Swan and Anchor Investment CFO Nathan Kowalski. You can catch that entire interview on The Breakdown with Tony Waterman tonight at 8 o'clock on ZBM TV9. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.